So, an interesting battle then, but it's MiniGP UK 160 up next. Wilson Dilks is back on the bike, but he's got Tyler Humphries to battle with at the front. Frankie Watson and Hudson Cooper return to the top four. Joshua Herring is there with Ollie O'Gorman in P6. Then Dan Stevenson, Chloe Gleeson, Max Robinson and Lucas King, and Harry Rafferty and Ollie Evitts will finish up the field. Don't forget we've got a major championship fight in this one as well. Leo Hams will finish the grid in 13th place. Watch for the battle between Humphries, Cooper and Dilks. Humphries, our cameraman, off we go. Dilks has got the lead after a good start, and Wilson Dilks, third in the championship coming into this weekend. He's the one that's got to pick up some points big time. Yeah, and he's only 4 points behind Hudson Cooper, who's second on 122. Dilks is on 118, but if this race goes Dilks' way, he will be right back in the mix again in this class. 2 places on offer to the World Championships at the end of the season. And how many points difference is there between first and second? There's 5, and there's a 4-point deficit. It really does make all the difference in the world. Humphries right in behind Wilson Dilks. He wants to make the switch early doors. He does not want to be waiting around. Makes his charge, Penrith climb. Wilson Dilks has been consistently using that slightly wider radius to build up the power as he works his way up towards Coward Summit. It certainly seems to be working well for him. So much of these particular stances, these riding styles, comes down to comfort, it comes down to natural feel. On board here with Tyler Humphries, we've got another on-board camera with Hudson Cooper as well, by the way. Cooper second in the championship, but he's down in 4th place, and his main opposition is out front. Now, Tyler Humphries has got an 18-point championship lead. Again, Jake, if you crash, you don't score any points. 25 points on offer for the win, 20 points for second. If he finishes second, there's still decent points, but he, again, 18-point championship lead. Can't afford to dump the bike and crash. You certainly can't, and for Hudson Cooper, he cannot afford to be sat behind Frankie Watson's exhaust, can he? He does not need to lose the points when his 2 main opponents are going to score big by comparison. Yeah, he's got to overtake him. It's as simple as that. He can't afford to come 4th. So over the top of Coward Summit, Wilson Dilks building a tiny bit of an advantage now over Tyler Humphries. Not enough to really rest easy, but certainly enough to control the pace on this part of the lap. Tyler Humphries has a look, but he's not going to make the move just yet. Out through that long flowing right hairpin on the approach to the left that takes you to the reverse valley section. Further back, we've got some great battles going on. Behind Watson, Cooper and Herring, we have Dan Stevenson in P6, battling away again with Chloe Gleeson and Ollie O'Gorman as we go back on board with Tyler Humphries, working their way through the left, through the right, through the left, then on the run to the left flick up towards Luna. Hudson Cooper, desperate to make the move on Frankie Watson. The 2 main opponents that can take the World Championship place away from me are only a few seconds up the road. I cannot afford to let them become specs. No, and I've got a bike between me and them, and I can't afford to have a bike between me and them. Cooper has got to get past Frankie Watson, who's 3rd. He's got to get past him, simple as that. So Watson's got all the cards up his sleeve here. Here's Tyler Humphries chasing down Wilson Dilks again along the school straight, getting the instructions from the pit boards. These mechanics have been working so hard to help their riders out, but now it's all down to the riders. It's all on them. Here's that battle for 6th place. It's Stevenson, Gleeson and O'Gorman. It looked to me as though Gleeson's got back in front into 6th position again. So they've shuffled the deck several times, those 3 this weekend, and they're doing so again. But Gleeson seems to have the confidence to be able to mix it with O'Gorman and Stevenson without really having too many issues out there. Good stuff. Fantastic battle. Again, this is Hudson Cooper looking at the rear end of Frankie Watson. He doesn't want to be looking at his rear end for much longer. He's got to get past him. He knows first and second's gone unless they crash. That is Frankie Watson picked out. Man for Haywards Heath in Sussex. And he is a bit of a pain in the backside at the moment for Hudson Cooper. Wilson Dilks, I was going to say Austin Dilks there. This is his older brother, I think. Wilson Dilks leads it currently, but for how long? Tyler Humphries doesn't do seconds. Doesn't indeed, and Hudson Cooper, look at the frustration now. Frankie Watson must be beaming from ear to ear on the pinion of that bike because he's got no pressure really. He can run his own race. Now that's Stevenson, having worked his way to the front of the queue again, so he's got back past Chloe Gleeson and Ollie O'Gorman. This is that battle for the lead, so here they come. Humphries will be looking for a way past. Again, he's having a good look here at Wilson Dilks. He's right up his chuff now as he come out of Luna Bend.
full on the throttle now as it comes. Has he got the... Well, he looks like he's got the position in the draft, but not taking advantage of that at the moment. Seems happy to sit in second for the time being. Again, as we said before, Jake, he can go for it, but he can't make a stupid move. He cannot afford to crash.
Yeah, it's got to be calculated. He needs to know that the move is on before he commits to it. At this point of the season, when the championship's on the line, oh, he had to think about it, but he's just too high a risk. If you're not sure if it's going to happen, you need to know 100,000%. This move is on. I'm committing to it. I'm going to psych out my opposition and I'm going to make this work. With this point of the championship season, it's mid-August. You do not take a gamble. You don't have to when you've got a championship on the line. Chloe Gleeson back into P6 again, by the way. So at the timing line, Stevenson was ahead. Gleeson's managed to make it work again to get up into P6 once more. And that's brought Lucas King into play. There were 4 of them in that line, not 3. Right, here comes the move, surely from Tyler Humphries. Absolutely spitting Wilson Dilks' exhaust fumes back at him. But no, Dilks is ready to hold the line again through Penrith Climb.
Now you might be watching this thinking, well, these bikes are too fast for 10 to 14-year-olds, but where do you expect them to start? You're not going to buy a bike at 18, get on a bike that does 200 mile an hour. What are they supposed to do? If you're going to race motorcycles, you don't get on one at 18 and try and learn your trade then. They have to learn the fundamentals of riding a bike fast at a young age, and in the UK this is where it starts in the British Minibikes Championships. How fast are they going? Well, earlier we saw Travis Shaw doing 76 mile an hour on his Alfano data logging system at the end of the straight. Again, bound for 6, that's Chloe Gleeson.
There's 5 of them now. It's Gleeson, Stevenson, O'Gorman, King and Harry Rafferty. So they are just backing each other up. Look at how close Humphries is on Wilson Dilks now, all the way through Luna. A little bit of a gesture from Wilson Dilks. All that sense of urgency from the young lad from Mansfield. He wants Tyler Humphries well away from him. They go out through Penrith Clyde, up over the top of the crest, the Long Coward Summit.
Now, we've saying before that Tyler Humphries, championship leader, can't afford to throw one up the inside, get it wrong and crash. But in 4th place, Hudson Cooper, Jake, that's exactly what he's got to do. He's going to have to throw one up the inside. He cannot afford to come 4th when his main contenders for those 2 World Championship places are sitting out ahead. He will obviously, he won't want them to injure themselves, but he would probably go past them if they did crash and say, thank goodness for that.
Well, a win is a win, isn't it? You take whatever wins you can get in this sport, particularly when it's so competitive at the sharp end. Frankie Watson, no pressure on him at all, can ride his own race, knowing he's not really in the fight for the championship positions. He can just learn and adapt, go his own way, run his own race. This lad from Sheffield, Hudson Cooper, really determined to get past Frankie Watson, who is proving out to be every bit his equal this weekend. He's trying to hustle him, he's trying to outfox him, but there is no way through. Right, Gleeson, O'Gorman and Stevenson have now done the work to start dropping Lucas King and Harry Rafferty. So they are dropping back. Right, here we go. Is this going to be the chance again? No, not going to happen. Tyler Humphries again hustles Wilson Dilks through the right-hand hairpin, back on the power, running down towards the left. And again, Wilson Dilks is just so smart, places the bike exactly where Tyler Humphries doesn't want it. He wants to be able to make the move on the inside or even outfox him on the outside. But that's not what Wilson Dilks is going to give him the chance to do. He positions the bike in the middle of the road in the braking zone for that big sweeping hairpin, and everywhere else, he's just a thorn in Tyler Humphries' side.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for it. He's had a good look at him, and this may be it. You've got a back marker in front. He's
the chance!
Here we go!
Switch of momentum from Wilson Dilks as we go into the last lap, and that could be exactly what Tyler Humphries needed. Slingshots in a Penrith climb, slight twitch, but it's done. Brilliantly done from Tyler Humphries, and use the back marker. Goes left at the top of Coward Summit. Oh my goodness, that was running the gauntlet. Tyler Humphries knew, right, the only way I'm going to beat Wilson Dilks is if I take a gamble. I'll make the move and then I'll sling it round the outside and hope that the back marker's going to give me the room. He did, slam dunk.
Yeah, and he's had a good look at him, hasn't he, through the race, through the entire race. He sat behind him going down the straight in the draft, but that time he was just a little bit closer coming through Luna Bend, and it was enough to get past. So now down to on Rogerson's here, down to Luna for the last time. Looks like Tyler Humphries is going to take this one.
Well, it's going to be tricky. He needs to get it right out of Luna. He knows that Wilson Dilks is right there. Don't look too far over your shoulder. Humphries going for the line, so too is Wilson Dilks, but it's job done. Tyler Humphries steals the win away from Wilson Dilks after a great battle. Meanwhile, it's going to be tight at the line further back. That is Hudson Cooper losing out to Frankie Watson on the last lap. How close can you get? Oh my goodness, the answer is 11 thousandths of a second. Wilson Dilks was only 55 thousandths back from Tyler Humphries. Herring in fifth from O'Gorman, Chloe Gleeson, Dan Stevenson, then King and Rafferty. And that's how it all sorts out at the end. 190 for Tyler Humphries in the lead of the championship.